Hello again, everybody. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. And we start this week's show, as usual this time of year, with football. And our game of the week was a battle of East and West, and this one went to the Wild West of the Spartans of West Hall over the Vikings of East Hall, the visitors, 51-22. Quan Williams had quite a game for the Spartans as he had over 100 yards rushing, including a 63-yard touchdown run. He caught a couple of passes and also had a 40-yard touchdown pass of his own on an end around. That was set up after he had an interception. He also had a caused fumble and a fumble recovery and had a punt return for a touchdown, which was called back. And afterwards, videographer Henry Gomez and I had a chance to talk with him. Tight game. You guys broke it open coming out at half. I mean, what happened at the end of the first half, though, was big, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Well, end of the first half, when we started off slow and we picked it back up, we had a great momentum change going into the halftime with my touchdown pass. Coach just gave me the green ball to throw it, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, you had to pick, and then you got to talk to me about that end around thing. Now, you caught him flat-footed. He was wide open.
Yes, sir, it was.
You threw a pretty good ball in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we've been planning to just do that all week because we realize that corners, they kind of bite on our run a lot because we do run the ball a lot. But it was just going into halftime, we need a big momentum change. I just kind of laid it up there for receiver, run under it.
Now, you played quarterback before, haven't you?
Yes, sir. I'm second-string quarterback.
There you go. I thought so. And played it in the lower levels, too, the JV and so forth. So not an unusual thing. But that's kind of a play you have in your back pocket. It's a trick play, but, hey, when it works, it works.
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, we've been practicing ever since we started, but this is the first time we've actually ran it.
What does this do for the team? Now, it's a big region win, Quan. You guys are kind of putting yourselves in the driver's seat, aren't you?
It's a wake-up call for all the other region teams that we're running for a region champ spot.
I hear that from everybody. Nothing else is going to make you guys satisfied, is it?
No, sir. Until we beat them all, that'll satisfy us.
The attitude on the team now, that's part of the turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the attitude has changed. Spartan Council, we've picked up a lot of leadership. It helps a lot.
Got to go to Franklin County now. Usually a tough place to play, but they got beat by Dawson County tonight. So, hey, they may be pretty hungry, too.
Yes, sir. Well, we just got to play week by week, and Franklin's up now.
Now, he wasn't the only one who had a large game for West Hall as the Vikings posted an early lead, but West Hall came roaring back with 3 rushers over 100 yards. Taekwon Statham had 184 yards with a 69-yard touchdown jaunt thrown in on that. Jay Crawford had 120 yards and 2 scores, including a 69-yarder where he was escorted down the field by lineman Blaine Satterfield. Now, Blaine, you got to tell me about that blocking you did for Jay Crawford. You're matching him step by step. That's probably the fastest you've ever run in your life down there. But you shielded him perfectly.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, no matter what it takes, I'm going to make sure my running backs get in the end zone. So, I mean, I was trying to get him step for step and shut off that dude that was chasing him, get him in the touchdown, get 6 on the board.
And you did, and turned it around. I mean, there was a close game for a while, but you busted it open. What was the difference?
I mean, adversity hits, and, that's what our coach preaches, just when adversity hits to change it around, and that's what we did. We put points on the board, and we won the game. I mean, we're out here to win a region championship, and that's the only thing, and every week's a step, and we're stepping over it.
Really different attitude on the team the last couple of years. Sort of started last year, but you guys have really turned it on this year.
Yeah, it's the whole mentality Coach Lottie's put in. It's a 3-year plan. We're in the 3rd year. I mean, we're rolling right now. It's just time. It's time for West Hall to be on the map, and we're putting us right there on the map.
West Hall also picked up scores on a 15-yard pass from Jacob Satterfield to Jacob Taylor, a 3-yard score from Cameron Millsap, and a 39-yard field goal and 6 extra points from Brad Hodson. All of that left Spartan head coach Tony Lottie pretty happy. Scored a couple of touchdowns in the space of less than 30 seconds. That's got to be a big boost for you and a kind of a momentum killer for them.
Well, it is, and the key to tonight was turnovers and big plays. I think that was one thing we were trying to make sure we focused on because they have so many weapons to make big plays fast, but I felt like we did too. So one of the things I've worked with the kids all week when we talk about trying to just limit their big plays. One time Watson breaks free and I thought he was gone. We did a good job of hustling down there, getting him down before he can get in the end zone, try to prolong that a little bit. So we were just trying to reduce the big plays and try to make some of our own, and I felt like our kids did. Jay Crawford had a great night.
They had a couple of touchdowns. And one of your linemen, 53 there, was, I said that's probably the fastest, Satterfield, I think is that Blaine said. That's probably the fastest he's ever run in his life because he was escorting him all the way down there. And I thought that was great.
Well, we talk about the Trogs all the time, and one of the things for them is when the guy gets to the end zone, it's because you put him there. So you're part of that process. You know, hustle your butt down there so you can celebrate with them when we make a big play. Because I'd much rather him doing that than one of them thinking they need to block behind the play. So we practice that a lot, that once the runner's in front of us, you got to try to catch him, not anybody else. We'll just let the other team see if they can run him down.
Juan Williams had the pick on defense, and then you got to tell me about that end around on the pass there where he throws the 40-yard touchdown pass right after the pick.
Well, we felt like, you know, it's kind of like every team works those types of plays, okay? And we felt like, I felt like we needed to do something to get some kind of momentum. Now, this was all Coach Wiggs. He came to me and said, hey, how about this? Of course, I'm thinking, well, I don't know if I want to throw the ball on this end of the field, but Luke was very sure of himself, so he made the call, and it was a great call, but, you know, the kids executed. So, once again, you know, it comes down, I tell the kids all the time how you guys make me look smart. That's your job, make me look smart, and they executed, and I was happy for that.
Franklin County on the road now, and I think they lost to Dawson County tonight.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard any of how the other teams in the region did. You know, we got to go up there, and we've never been there since I've been here. Now, I don't know, West Hall may have played them a while back, but we're going to try to have a good prep week this week and get ready to go out there and see if we can't get another win next week.
You're kind of in the driver's seat right now, Tony. You ready for this?
Well, oh yeah, absolutely. You know, that's one of the things I told the kids. You know, let's try to make sure we control our own destiny. We don't want to wait and then have to wait on somebody else to kind of help you out, so to speak. So we just focused on every focus was on East Hall and trying to get some of our kids. And that was a big part of tonight. We were able to get a couple of kids back from injury that we haven't had. So you know, this is football, and every one of us have injuries, and sometimes you get yours back quicker than others. And I know we lost one tonight that's going to hurt us. So we just see somebody else has got to step up. That's it. That's why you coach your younger kids. Somebody's got to step up and fill that void.
West Hall will play at Franklin County next. The Lions lost to Dawson County 25-7. East Hall got that 7-0 lead on Devin Watson's sneak over and Victor Adame's PAT. Later, Watson's 17-yard pass to Rex Ferguson and Adame's kick cut a West Hall lead to 27-14. But by then, the Spartans were rolling. A late pass to Viking Junior Lee and a Watson conversion read the final score of 51-22. East Hall will host Johnson for homecoming this Friday. The Knights were the only other Hall County team to win as they took their second victory in a row, this one 13-0 over Osborne. Now, a couple of our local teams had leads but could not hold them. Gainesville had jumped on top of unbeaten Lanier 9-0, only to have the Longhorns score 23 unanswered points. The Elephants fought back to tie it, only to see Lanier take the win on a 41-yard field goal with under 15 seconds to play. Gainesville quarterback Mikey Gonzalez had 238 yards and 2 touchdowns passing, both to Messiah Dorsey, by the way. But he also had an interception. Michael Bird had 47 yards and a touchdown rushing, and Gainesville will come back home with Clark Central this coming Friday. Now, the Gladiators came from behind to overtake Flowery Branch 32-12 as the Falcons just flat ran out of steam, could not convert a couple of third-quarter drives. Trey Wilcoxon scored from the 12, and Nick Lance hit Kyle King from the 7 for the Branch's only scores. Now, the Branch will play at Appalachia next. The Wildcats are winless on the season, and they're coming off a bye week. Riverside fought old-time power Washington Wilkes tough, but came up shy, 13-10. Malik Falk had 57 yards rushing and a 43-yard interception return. Avery Cagle had 35 yards rushing and a running TD and passed for 15 more yards. Jordan Ainsley added an extra point and a short field goal. Now, the Eagles are at Oglethorpe County next. The winless Patriots were thumped by Raven County 49-7 last Friday. In other games, Buford cruised over North Hall 56-0, the fourth time the Big Green Monsters have gone over 50 points this season. North Hall will host Madison County next. Chestatee tried to mount a comeback but couldn't catch Madison County, and the Red Raiders won 49-28. Chestatee will host Stevens County next. The Indians beat up on White County 30-10. Tay Turner had a couple of TD runs, but Lakeview lost to George Walton Academy 34-14. Lakeview will host Athens Academy this Friday. The Spartans were beaten by Prince Avenue Christian 29-7 last Friday. A couple of college football notes involving 2 former Gainesville quarterbacks. In Arkansas, Alabama's Blake Sims threw for a couple of touchdowns as the Crimson Tide survived Arkansas 14-13. At Clemson, Deshaun Watson broke a finger on his throwing hand when he hit a helmet in their 23-17 win over Louisville. Now, he is expected to miss about a month after they repair it with screws and such. Sounds nasty, but reports are he may be back for the Tigers game with Georgia Tech. We hit the trails when Hall County Sports returns. Gary Glenn back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television along with Pastor Rob Bruce, who is the pastor at McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. And Rob, in a new sermon series now.
That's right, Gary. We're starting this Sunday, 40 Days of Fruitful Living, which is about what it means to be a Christ follower and really the price we have to pay to do that. So we'd like to invite you to come on out and hear what we have to say between now and the end of November.
All right, Rob, sounds good. We'll see you in church on Sunday.
Thank you, Gary.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. This segment, we're talking cross country. The North Hall boys and Johnson girls raced the Hall County Cross Country Championships last week on the course at Riverside. Runners from other schools, though, claimed individual crowns. Johnson's junior Suarez chased down North Hall's Quentin Miles by running a 16:16 to 16:26 for juniors' fifth individual title of the season on the boys' side, while on the girls', Chestatee fine freshman Lindsey Grader ran a 19:42 on the 5K course to take her fourth championship of the year, time about 12 seconds off of her personal record. Gainesville's Brienne Fair was second, and Johnson's Evelyn Avicii was third. Johnson placed 4 girls in the top 10. That led them to the team title. Joining Avicii were Hannah Rogers in 5th, Molly Hayes in 8th, and Arisbel Saucedo in 9th place. The Chestatee girls second, led by Grader's 1st, Abby Cleish's 4th, and Mary Barnett's 10th. North Hall was 3rd, paced by Maddie Bohannon's 6th, and Mary McGarry's 7th. Suarez's first place time, about 23 seconds slower than his personal record of 15:53. That led Johnson to second place in the boys' team standings behind North Hall. The powerful Trojans placed 4 boys in the top 10. In addition to Miles' second, Bryce Schubert ran 3rd, Corson Teasley 4th, and Tommy Johnson 7th. Isaac Hernandez ran 8th to help Johnson finish as runners-up. Gainesville was 3rd overall amongst the boys, led by Juan Ortega 6th and Diego Rangel's 10th. Lakeview's Lewis Brooks ran 5th overall, while Chestatee's Jack Carnes came in 9th to round out the top 10. And we're joined now on the set by Coach Lauren Carter, who is both the boys and girls head coach for the Johnson Knights and Lady Knights. And Lauren, you know, you've been on the show before, but we talked to you on location, so thanks for taking time to come in on the set. I think the last time we talked was after the West Hall Invitational, and you won the girls and placed second as the boys there. So, hey, you're having a pretty good year over there, Lauren.
We are having a great year. I think it all has to do with going back to our summer and how much work we put in this summer. So we're seeing the results now. Well,
hard work in the off season in many sports always pays off during the regular season. Overall, has the season gone kind of like this when you go to these team meets, or is it this amongst the best that you're doing as you're rounding kind of into shape? You hope for the postseason now, right?
Well, definitely. And I think I took over about 3 years ago. First year, our boys qualified for state. Last year, it was the first time both our girls and boys qualified for state. And I think this is the first year where we're starting to see some results. I mean, it takes a while to build up any program when you're starting fresh and trying to set a foundation. And now that we have that, I think that the runners are buying into it. And hopefully from here on out, we'll be able to, achieve some great things and see some results.
Now, a sport like cross country, obviously, you like that high finish for all of it. But the thing that really makes or breaks a team is trying to get them all close together and all being that close to the top 10. Would you agree?
I agree. But I think, of course, North Hall, they always have finishers in the top 10. But what we tend to have is, one of our girls will finish within the top 10, but then our second, third, fourth, and fifth will finish as a group. But before, I would say between 15 and 20, and that usually works for us. So they pace themselves and they finish together, and that's usually what helps us out the most. They're not spread out like they have been in the past.
And we need to remind the folks that, like in golf, low score wins in cross
country.
Yes,
low score wins. The perfect score, I believe, is 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's very hard to do. And it's been done, in Hall County. But I don't know. We got junior in there now, and North Hall is usually used to getting that 15, and it's just amazing that we're even allowed to compete close to them now. We've kind of used them as an example because I know they have a wonderfully established program, and Drew Rogers over there, I look up to him, and I just kind of base our program around their program and some of the other great programs throughout the state. So they're definitely a model team for us.
Now, Gerardo Jr., like he likes to be called, Suarez, he has really been coming on. And the thing about him, I don't say tight, but he's a little guy.
He
and he
is
doesn't
a
have that
little
long
guy.
legs.
I
No
know.
big. How does he do that?
I mean, I'm telling you, last year we had a huge problem with him losing places in the last 100 meters and his finishing. So he'd run that race up top and then he'd lose it at the very end. And so we have really, really tailored like a program, the last part of our practice strides and finishes around him so that he would be able to keep the place that he ran the entire race, doing, and then and it's worked. I mean, he's finishing awesome now. The other day, he gets on the track and he's used to those track workouts because we do some track workouts, and he just felt like it was home. So he finished, and it was amazing.
You mentioned you group your girls close together, and you've had some team success. Maybe not individual champions, but you keep taking home team trophies. That's got to be a point of pride for your girls.
It is, and I don't know if they know how to react to that yet because this is the first year, and like I said, last year was the first year that they qualified for state. So it's a big deal to them, and they're enjoying it, and I think the best part is that they're seeing that hard work does pay off because that's really what it's all about. I want these kids to find something that they love to do because after they graduate, they can still go running, and so I love that they're seeing that hard work pays off.
Is the school getting behind you? Are they aware of how good you are?
Finally, I feel like I know at the first pep rally, our cross-country team got a lot of support, and we see a lot of teachers and just classmates and friends of the runners coming out to our races. So it's good, and I know that the kids love that, and we see administration out there. So they're definitely getting behind us now. It's great.
Well, in the short time we got, what you got coming up for you now?
Well, next weekend we are at UNG for the Coach Wood Nike race, and I think there's going to be around 50-some teams there. There's 3 different varsity races. It's going to be awesome. And then after that, we're headed to Region on the 30th in Unicoi.
You like your chances, Coach, at Region?
I do, but it's going to be tough. There's awesome team. We have one of the hardest regions, I think, in the entire state. You're talking Beaufort, Chestatee, North Hall, North Oconee, and I say White County. They're all in there with us. So we're going to just see who is the best that day. We've been back and forth all season, so it's going to be very competitive.
All right. Lauren, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Lauren Carter, head cross-country coach with the Johnson Knights and Lady Knights. Now, we're going to be right back with the strongest bench presser in the world over 50 years old. That story when Hall County Sports returns. You've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. Well, it was another title for Georgia Iron Dogs bench press specialist Tim T. Moon of Gainesville. This time happened at the World United Amateur Powerlifting Bench Press and Powerlifting World Championships in Tels, Austria. With a lift of 357.5 kilograms, or 788.1445 pounds, T set the Open and Masters men's 50 to 54-year-old world record of the 140 kilo. That's the 308.64 pound weight class. He'd weighed in a little under 281 the day before. Missed his first lift at 744, but came back and got it. He tried just under 818 on the fourth lift, was just a little worn out by that time. But it was good enough for the win, the world record, and the Champion of Champions awards, his 10th world championship and 30th world record overall. And we bring to the show now Tim Moon, a man who's been with us many times before. Tim, thanks for being in, and another good day for you over there at the World Championships. Now, I understand the Open guy came along. Was it in your weight class that he did that world record?
No, he actually was in a lighter weight class.
A lighter weight class, yeah. Okay. But so now you've got the Open and the Masters world record for that particular weight class, which was, and you're about 20 pounds or more under that weight class limit, right?
Yeah, I'm light.
For that.
Yeah, I went over there and specifically lifted up in a heavier weight class, wanting to break the world record at the next weight class up, and so I was eating and drinking and trying to put it in there, and I just couldn't quite get big enough. I weighed in, I don't know what it was, 280 or 281, something like that.
Tell me a little bit about the meet itself. Now, I mentioned that you started out at 744. something that you had done in practice pretty easily the week before. What happened on that sort of threw you off a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I've gotten experienced in this, and I've learned, you know, the week before I lifted, I did 745 in practice, you know, under strict rules, and had somebody judge me and give me all the commands, and did it fairly easily. And so I felt confident going over there to open with that. And we traveled, and the travel was tough. We missed our flight the first day, and, you know, we were tired, so I knew that might factor into it. So I felt like starting at that weight, 744, was conservative for me. And then I missed it. And then your whole mindset is oops, I'm screwed up. But as a general rule, I bring the bar down and I touch about right here. But my first attempt, I came down too low. And I've learned, if I'm out of position, don't waste the energy. I mean, if it had been my third and final lift, I would have tried. But being my opener, I was like, ooh, I better not waste my energy. I may not get it because I didn't hit it right. You know, just like a baseball, it's kind of like hitting a foul ball. So I bailed out of the lift and then retook it to make sure I get on the board. And with the correct bar placement, that amount of weight went straight up. So then I moved to 788. You know, for my now third lift, which should have been my second lift, and got it pretty successfully. I mean, that's the second most I've ever hit in competition.
Now, you tried the 818 or right at that because you wanted a PR. You've done over 810 before, but you wanted a personal record.
Yeah, and that would have been the, you know, the heaviest lift they've had in that federation. So I was trying to set that mark, but it being a fourth attempt, and I didn't have a longer break. You know, you get about 10 minutes between lifts. But since I was the only one taking a fourth lift, I only had maybe 3 or 4 minutes to recover, and I got it about halfway up. So I made a run at it.
You did. I've seen the video, and I think we're going to show a little bit maybe of the video over there. But some of the else that I wanted to talk to you about was the experience of travel. Now, you and I have been to Europe together, and we've been over there, and you've been over there a couple of 3 times now. But you took your wife with you, so this had to be kind of a good little mini vacation for the both of you.
Yeah.
And we'll have some pictures, I think, of some of the things that you saw. Tell me about some of the neat things you did.
We flew into Zurich, and then we traveled to Milan, Italy. They call it Milano. You know, we're saying, where's Milan? And everybody's like, Milan? What does that mean? Milano. But we went and saw I think it's the largest cathedral over there, Duomo or something like that. And then the next day when we woke up in Milan, we went to try and see the Last Supper painting by Da Vinci.
Yeah.
But you got to book it like 3 weeks in advance. So wife was really disappointed. But we did go in the cathedral itself, you know. So then the next day we woke up and here we go to Venice. I mean, not Venus, what do you call it?
Venice.
Venice, and they don't call it Venice. They call it Venetia.
Okay.
And that was, you know, something you never forget. The whole city's built on the water. There's
canals.
There's no cars and no streets, and it's all boats. As a contractor, my brain couldn't wrap around how do you build on the water. You know, I had trouble with that, but it was a memorable experience. You know.
And then you go to lift. So, but you've got all that. But you kind of got to sort of, when you're there, you got to take advantage of this kind of stuff, don't you? Huh?
Yeah. What is it? They say YOLO. You only live once. You know. Somebody said that to us while we were there. It's like, we're here. Let's go do it. You know. So.
Did you see a lot of the people that you've seen before at these things, and the camaraderie exists across national lines, doesn't it?
Yeah. You start seeing the same guys at the world level that you've seen before. You know, coming back and competing and. I know I'm probably more recognizable to them than they are to me. And it's funny, you know, to be at the meet, and obviously had a very successful meet. And, you know, at the end of the day, they add up how much you weigh, how much you lifted, and how old you are, and they put it in a formula, and they pick the best, the champion of all the champions. And that happened to be me. And so I was a very popular, you know, photo op. And it's funny, people come up to you and want to talk to you, and you have no idea what they're saying. You know, it's funny. But, you know, then you realize, hey, they want a photo with you or whatever. So,
well, Tim, did you have any idea? I'm going to ask this question, although I think the answer is obvious. When you got started in this 4 or 5 years ago, you know, and you're benching about 400 pounds, and that you're going to be another almost 400 pounds on top of that.
No, I didn't have a clue. You know, it's amazing that the first meet that I went to, you know, I had no idea how strong I was. I knew I'm stronger than the average guy. You know, I've been working out my whole life on and off, and I met you, and I knew that you really liked the sport, and I could tell you knew what you were doing. And when you got me started, I didn't have a clue I'd be benching twice what I was benching. So,
and then, within 3 months, I think we were going to Europe together.
Yeah,
that was our first time. So
crazy.
First thing. So
it's been a whirlwind.
It has.
Sure.
It has. So where do you go from here?
I really don't know. Obviously, I want to keep doing it as long as I'm being successful. And at some point, I guess you have to plateau. I don't know, but I got you and Coach Hatfield, and y'all keep going up. And it's like, how long can you go? I don't know. But as long as I keep going up, I'll probably keep doing it.
All right. T-Moon, congratulations, brother. Always good to see you. Good lifting again.
Appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Our pleasure. All right. Tim Moon, world champion, world record holder. We wrap up this week's show in just a moment. We're back. Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports here. Well, we got plenty of football left, but some other fall sports are already moving into the playoffs. In volleyball, East Hall won the 7 AAA title with wins over Lumpkin County and Fannin County. Among the impressive stats on the night, Cassida Shockley with 42 assists, 13 points on serve with 4 aces, 5 kills, 7 digs. Minette Maldonado had 23 digs, 11 points on serve with 4 aces and 9 kills. Jessica Camille contributed 11 points scored on serve, 3 aces, 4 digs, 2 blocks, and 5 kills. And Emily Roberts also had 15 kills and a dig, and Allison Seegers added 19 kills, 15 digs, as well as 9 points on serve with 6 aces. Savannah Lindsay with 35 digs, 15 points scored on serve with 2 aces, a kill, 2 assists. Ashley Burnett had 7 points on serve with 3 aces, 6 kills, 1 assist, and 8 digs. And Summer Lindsay added 11 digs and 2 assists for the Lady Vikings. North Hall made the finals of the 8-4A tournament after beating Madison County in straight sets and then rallying to take North Oconee down in 3. Sydney Cleveland put up 12 kills, 3 blocks, and 6 digs in the comeback, and that gave her a region-leading 307 kills on the season. Lily Pascal had 34 assists, 3 digs, and a kill. The Lady Trojans would then finish as runners-up to the powerful Lady Wolves of Buford. Cleveland had 12 kills, 6 digs, and a block in the title game, and would make first team all-region. Lily Pascal had 18 assists, and Coach Emmy Hughes was named the Region 8 Quad A Coach of the Year. Congratulations to Emmy. All right, turning to softball, Courtney Harris drove home Maddie Hetzel with a single and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th last week to give Flowery Branch a 6-5 victory over homestanding Appalachia and a split of the Region 8 5A playoff doubleheader. Hetzel had tied the game with a deep RBI double in the bottom of the 7th, and Kara Kite was the winning pitcher for the Lady Falcons in Game 2. Shelby Griffin, who caught both games for the Lady Falcons, was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 4 RBI in the first game, won by second-seeded Appalachia 12-8. Appalachia would take the decisive third game 11-1 in 5 innings. The only branch run there came when Kelly Callert scored on a couple of illegal pitches caught on the Appalachia pitcher. Griffin did not play because of a hurt shoulder. The branch lost out to Wanda Barrow and went into the state playoffs against Cambridge as a number 4 seed. All right, some more competitions. North Georgia Christian defeated Oak Mountain Christian 3-1 in penalty kicks in the first round of the Georgia Independent Christian Athletic Association Fall Soccer State Playoffs last week. They went through regulation and 2 overtimes without a score. Then Grant Boone, Will Wethington, and Jordan Hughes all connected on penalty kicks to lead the Chargers to the win. Playing goalie, Wethington also stopped 3 penalty kicks for NGC. The Chargers, though, fell in the semifinals 6-0 to eventual state champion Trinity Christian. Some other competitions. The East Hall Anglers Club will be hosting a fishing tournament for middle and high school students this coming Saturday, October 18th. The North Georgia Open will get underway at Laurel Park. The adults drive the boats and the students going to fish. Mill Creek came out on top of a 33-team field last year. Hall County welcomed quite a number of athletes this past weekend. The state fall games of the Special Olympics came to town. One of the purest forms of competition left. Their motto is, let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. Now, back on October 4th, the Riverside Military Academy Raider team traveled to Elbert County High School to compete with 20 other schools in 5 different events. The first event was the team run, a 2.7-mile run as a team, which they won in 1724. After the team run, the Raiders moved to the cross-country rescue. That's a short course with a wall and a low crawl with a 120-pound litter and the 4 35-pound rucksacks, and they finished that one in 5:43. Then they moved on to the ammo can relay. Each member of that team would carry 2 heavy ammo cans about 50 yards and back. They won a 2:53 on that one. Then the Raiders competed in the obstacle course. This one they had to carry a 200-pound log to a dumpster, set it down, jump in and out of 2 dumpsters, and then they carried several heavy water cans to a tire and flipped the tire several yards and back. They did that one in 1:28, they tell me. And after that, they ran the course back to the starting point. Now, the last event was the rope bridge at 109. They won all of the events except for the cross-country rescue, where they placed second, and that gave them another overall title. And finally, for you karate enthusiasts, this Saturday, the Shotokan, North Georgia will present the 3rd annual Fall Brawl. That'll be at the Mulberry Creek Community Center in Flowery Branch. Looks like a large time, once again, will be had by all. And that's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports.
Oh.